Okay, does that make sense, guys? Okay, any questions before I move on? Yep.
Thanks. So for poor families, is there any way for the poor kids to succeed, to be the rich parent you described in the future? Yeah.
Okay, that's a really good question, okay? So we know that there are certain poor kids who do succeed. For example, I'm a poor kid who succeeded. We immigrated to Toronto, Canada when I was like 6 years old, and my father was a dishwasher. So we were a very poor family, okay? But I succeeded because I left Canada for the United States. So Canada is a very rigid place where poor people basically move up a bit, but not too far. But I was able to succeed because I was able to get a scholarship to go study in the United States. Okay, so there are opportunities. The problem, though, is that it means leaving your community. Okay, does that make sense? So one way to succeed is to abandon your community. Okay, but that's high risk. Right? So you have to be extremely individualistic to take such a risk. So that's why most people don't do it. Because if you think about it, the safest option for you is to stay within your community. That's what's going to guarantee you the best outcome. But if you choose to abandon your community and just say, you know what, I'm going to go somewhere else and try my luck, that's taking a really high risk, okay? So you choose to succeed, you have to take high risk. So another possibility is war. That traditionally, historically, has been the best mechanism of social mobility. When you go fight a war and you do really well, you'll get promoted in life. Okay? But again, war is high risk because chances are you'll get killed. Okay? So not just war, but also revolution. Right? Okay? And of course, the best way, of course, is to marrying up. Okay? And that's why, remember in our very first class, we talked about the dating game, right? Where women only want 5 and 4. Okay? The reason why is that 5 and 4 are high status and 3, 2, 1 are low status. So if you're a woman, you don't want to marry into a low status family because your children will be screwed over. Okay? Your best option is to take a risk, gamble into a high status and marry. You want to try to marry into a high status family. Okay? So traditionally, war and marrying up are the two major mechanisms of social mobility. In today's world, abandoning community can also lead to success. Okay, basically immigrating to a place that offers more social mobility, which often means the United States. Okay, but another way of saying this is you have to get really lucky, guys. Okay, so there's lots of poor people who think that, you know, I succeeded because I worked hard and I'm really talented. Look, I was born poor, I lucked into Yale. Okay, it's luck. You can work as hard as you want, but the chances are against you. Okay? And it takes a certain personality, which is you're really individualistic, you're very ambitious, and you have high risk tolerance. Most people don't have that, okay? So yes, there are certain people who, despite their background, they're able to succeed. But that's often the exception to the rule, as opposed to the rule itself. Okay, so thank you. Is this clear?
Yeah.
Okay, any more questions, guys, before I move on? Okay.